Hello, good morning class. Well, Happy New Year and welcome to second semester. Today we would like to discuss about the procedure text. And I'm sure that this material is not the new thing for you because when you were at junior high school, you have discussed about this material. Well, to remind you what the material about the procedure text is, now look at this explanation. Procedure text is a text which discuss about how to do something or how to operate something. There are many examples of the procedure text. It is when you buy something like a television or maybe laptop, so you will find the manual there. Manual is one of the example of the procedure text. Then what is the purpose of the procedure text? The purpose is to describe how an activity is done or and how an object is made through a sequence of an action or a step. So the purpose of the procedure text is resemble with the definition of the procedure text. Well, in the procedure text also has a specific generic structure. Generic structure is in Bahasa Indonesia we call it plot or alur. The first generic structure of the procedure text is the goal. The goal, we call it the title or the procedure to be carried out. And then the second one is the material. What is material? Material describing the list of objects which are needed, or sometimes it is also accompanied by the instruments or the appliance or the tool. And the last generic structure of the procedure text is the step. Step describing the method or the step to follow. Discussing about the step, so we will never forget about the imperative sentence in the procedure text. Imperative sentences is the main language feature that you can find in the procedure text. Now look at the pattern or formula of the imperative sentence. This sentence will be started by the verb base, or we call it verb 1 plus complement or object, we call it object. And then the function is to give an order or command. Now look at the example of the imperative sentences below. Please look at the bold type of the sentence. Follow the step below. Follow, we call it verb base or verb 1 without 2. And then the complement, here is the step. The second example, the verb base is dress up. And then the complement is in a bookkeeper suit and glove. And then number 3 to number 5, the word in a bold type, we call it verb base or verb 1 without 2 atau no And now we go on to the example of the other imperative sentences. And you know, because now we are in the pandemic of coronavirus, so I would like to give you some example of the imperative sentences concerning with the coronavirus here. Here, the tips to reduce the risk of infection. Look, this sentence below. Wash hand often. Look at the word wash. Wash here is the verb 1. And then use soap and water or an alcoholic based hand rub. The word use here is verb 1. And then next, look at the second sentence, imperative sentences. Cover your mouth and nose. Cover. Here we call it verb 1. Cover your mouth and nose. If you cut or sneeze with the inside of your elbow. And look at the sentence number 3. Don't get close to anyone. Don't get close. The sentence don't get close, here we call it negative imperative sentence. So we can use it also in procedure text. The next sentence, go to the doctor if you have a fever, cough, or feel that it is difficult to breathe. Look, the word go. This is verb 1. And then the last sentence, if you go to the market, don't touch animal or everything in the area they stay. Don't touch. This is also the form of the imperative sentence, but it is negative imperative sentences. Well, next you can listen for the procedure text. We can get from the World Health Organization how is COVID-19 spread and how do you protect yourself against it.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Well, later you can listen this procedure text not only once or maybe try to play it more than one. And our next activity is you will have some question that you have answer based on the listening that you have heard. Question number 1. What is the tape in the video about? And then question number 2. How many tapes are there? What are they? Number 3. What imperative sentences do you find in the video? Number 4. If the video is made in the written form, what is the text called? And the last number, what are the part of the text? Well, later you can do this question. You can finish it based on the listening that you have heard. And later you can take a photo of your work or your assignment and you can send it to the Google Classroom. And thank you for your attention and goodbye.